especially because I have a lot to update you on. So if I have like a different outfit later or whatever, like that's fine. Okay, so enough rambling. Like I said, I wanted to give you all a life update. Last time I did this, I was getting ready to go on my Europe trip, and that was like a month and a half ago now, almost 2 months. So a lot going on. Yeah, I don't typically record these videos without. Okay, rewind. When I record these videos, I like to be doing something else instead of just like rambling. So I'll like paint my nails, or you know, I'll be getting ready while I'm rambling. I used to like put together a bullet journal, like monthly spread, and I don't really know what to do today. Like I said, it's a really awkward setup, so I don't feel like I could paint my nails. Like, yeah. So what I'm going to be doing, at least for the first half, is a little bit of shopping haul. I just went shopping at TJ Maxx before this, and I bought a couple things. So I'll give you like a bit of a life update / shopping haul, at least for the first half, and then we'll see what we'll do in the second half if, you know, it takes that long. So, like I said, it's been a while since I last gave you an update. I'm sorry, this hair is like wild. I don't know what to do with these bangs. And today's wash day too, so anyway, I wrote down some things I want to talk about in this notebook. So if you see me refer to this notebook, that's what I'm doing. Alright. Okay, so let's start with the chunk of what this video will be about, and that is the Europe trip. Let me grab my stuff. It is absolutely pouring rain, so the lady put like a bag on each side since she didn't have enough, like she didn't have any more large bags. So it definitely helped. But, yeah, okay. Alright, so we're starting with this workout shirt. I'm like finally starting to work out again. Okay. So the Europe trip. So we started off with flying into Barcelona. It was cheapest for us to fly into Barcelona. The flight there was an adventure, so there wasn't a direct flight. We were going to fly from one big city into somewhere in Canada, and then from Canada to Barcelona. So the first flight, we get to this major airport, and it's maybe 4 hours from the house, so we left super early that morning, dropped off my dog like at a boarding place, and we get there in time. We're like checked in, we get seated, and then we're like, you know, on the runway, I guess it's called, and the pilot says like, hey, you know, there's like a tornado warning, so, you know, we've been told not to take off yet, like we're just gonna sit here, stay seated, maybe a 10 minutes delay, whatever. Like 30 minutes goes by and we're still all sitting there like waiting for an update, and the pilot goes back on and he says, hey, like all the people in the, what is it, control tower, watchtower or something, they have been asked to evacuate because of the tornado warning. Like, not a big deal, but like please stay seated with your seatbelts on, because again, like we're in a tornado warning. So I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So we end up taking off like an hour and a half after, maybe an hour after our like original departure time, and we land in Canada, and we missed our connecting flight. So we get put on like, we like, the airline was really nice. Like they, as soon as we got seated there, as soon as we took off, as soon as we deplaned, we get off the plane and someone is waiting there like, hey, here are your tickets, like rush over to your next flight. You're actually gonna stop by like Paris and then Paris to Barcelona. So I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So we get on the next flight, we make it into Paris, and then Paris to Barcelona. Like we finally make it to Barcelona, but originally we were supposed to get there at like 9 a.m. or something, and we didn't get there until like 4 p.m. So that day was kind of wasted. That day was also my sister's birthday, so my husband and I met up with my sister and my cousin in Barcelona. So they had been there like that whole day, and at that fanciest outfit you have? We're like, okay. And so we just wore like a cute outfit, but like we see people who were going into like the dinner show and they were wearing like full like ball gown, like legit dresses, like I don't know, super fancy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is back there? So after dinner we walked around a little bit. That spot had like a lot of like bars and stuff and clubs, and most places don't open up until super late. Like people don't eat dinner until really late over there. So we just had a drink somewhere, and then we ended up coming back because after like 11 o'clock or 11:30, the Gatsby place actually, like that other side that was closed off before opens up and it becomes like a nightclub, and we went in there and it was so much fun, like super fancy, like, but it was like a club, like people were dancing, really fun, great time. Okay, let me grab the next one. This is what I am most excited about from my purchases. A cute little Michael Kors bag. It looks a little bit bigger on camera, but it's kind of small. I mean, my phone is probably this size, so like twice the length of a old iPhone. But yeah, super freaking cute. Anyway, so that was kind of like the main thing that day. The next day, we actually were going to be leaving Barcelona that evening, so we only had like half of a day to explore. My husband's cousin then like flew into Barcelona that day, and we met up with her, and we went to check out La Sagrada Familia, that cathedral. I was going to purchase tickets online ahead of time, but like my group, like my sister and cousin, like we were all kind of indecisive on like what day we were planning to go there and what we wanted to do. And so unfortunately, when we went there that day, there weren't any tickets available to do like a tour, so we didn't get to go inside. We were just outside. That whole day we were pretty much just like walking around everywhere, and we walked there, we walked the Arc de Triomphe, I can't pronounce it. Yeah, so just like walking around, like sightseeing. We ate some absolutely delicious paella, like, so it was super fun. Then my husband, sister, and cousin and I rushed to the airport. My husband's cousin stayed in Barcelona. She was staying like an extra day. Yeah. And from there we flew to Nice, so we flew to France. Trying to think where we stayed. And there at the airport we met up with my brother-in-law, so my husband's brother. He met up with us at the airport in France. So we took the tram to close to where Airbnb was at. That was, I think we went out like for like pizza that night. It was super late, and that was like the only place open, and that was kind of it. The next day, my husband and his brother went to see the Formula 1 race in Monaco. That was like the main reason for this trip. So they spent the entire day there, and my sister, cousin, and I just kind of walked around Nice and like went sightseeing. I can't remember the name of all the places we checked out, but just lots of walking around and like, yeah, eating good pastries. Croissant du chocolat was my favorite. Croissants were my go-to. That night, my husband's cousin, the one who met up with us in Spain, flew into France, and she met up with us from the airport. Like, she made it to the Airbnb, and then we all got ready to go out, and we went out that night to some fancy, I think it was called like a high club or a high bar or something, I don't know, some fun place. Oh no, wait, first we went out to dinner, and then there was like a club nearby, and we went there for a little bit. It was fun, but it was really tiny. They were trying to convince us to husband's brother and their cousin, they stayed in Athens for like a day. So we got there at night. They stayed like the next day in Athens. But my sister, cousin, and husband and I, we took the ferry super early that next morning and went straight to Mykonos. The Mykonos Airbnb was my absolute favorite. Like, absolutely gorgeous. Just so pretty. Like, perfect location. I can't even stress like how beautiful it was. I might try to insert like a clip somewhere here. Okay, so just absolutely gorgeous. And the host was so nice. I think she was the best part. Like, we checked in and she was there and she's like, hello, welcome, and gave us all hugs, and I'm like, hi. Like, she was super sweet, and she gave us like, she put together like a little guide book, tour guide book, I don't know, like a little guide to Mykonos, and like listed out some restaurants and like beaches and clubs and things to do, and like, you know, churches to check out, like whatever, like a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, so we like walked around a bit. There were some windmills that we like checked out. We went to the beach, and this beach, like, I think this beach was the priciest one. Like, these are where all the rich people apparently go. So there was literally a helicopter pad where people, and someone did stop by, like, people come and park their helicopters and like go down and like swim in the water or whatever. Like, who are these people? But the yacht or the beach, like, this is a spot where everyone takes their yachts. So you'll see a bunch of people like in their yachts, like just vacation, like chilling there, I guess. I don't know, like wild. They had little chairs you could rent out to like sit, like lay on or whatever. Those ones that like lay all the way back or under the umbrellas right by the water. But they were like $300 to rent out one chair, and like, I can't, like, that's too much. So we just laid down in the sand with our towels and whatever. It was super beautiful. I'll try to include like pictures throughout this. What was I gonna say? Oh, so before we left, we wanted to grab lunch there. And at first I was seeing the menu prices. I'm like, I don't know, man, like, this is a lot. But my husband's like, come on, Lisa, like, when are we gonna be in Mykonos again? And my sister and cousin were like, yeah, like, let's do this. Like, this is why we work. Like, let's, you know, we knew it was gonna be a pricey trip. Like, let's just enjoy this. And holy crap, guys. So we're sitting there like right by the water, and we're looking at like what to order. I ordered like a salad, an avocado salad, just like a normal salad with avocado, and a sushi roll. It was like salmon teriyaki roll or something like that. When I tell you this was the best sushi roll I've ever had in my life, like, this was the best sushi roll I've ever had in my entire life. It had like the raw salmon and avocado, and like, I don't even know what made it so delicious, but it was seriously the best sushi I've ever had in my life. My sister got like a Greek salad that she said was really good. My cousin just got like a couple cocktails that were really yummy, and my husband got like risotto or something with, I don't know what, but it was absolutely delicious, worth every dollar. Like, normally, like, my husband and I will share food, and I think that he could tell that I really like this roll, because I was like, oh, do you want it? But I probably asked, like, do you want a bite? And I probably sounded really hesitant, and he's like, no, you're good, like, you can have it. I'm like, okay, cool. And I ate all of it. I think I gave my cousin like one piece, but like, it was so freaking good. Like, oh, just thinking about it, like, really good. Then that night, my husband's brother and their cousin arrived in Mykonos, and we went, did we go out? Yes, we went out. Okay, let me grab the other item. It's just like a cute little, they're like shorts on the bottom. I don't know how to call this. I'm not convinced yet if I'm gonna keep this, but I figured I would take it home and try it on. So we went out. My sister ended up turning in early. She went to bed. So it was like the two cousins, so my cousin, my husband's cousin, my brother-in-law, my husband, and I. We went out dancing. It was super fun. My cousin, however, was going through a breakup at the time, and so then she started getting like really emotional and like crying and like trying to call up the ex, and like, yeah, that ended up not being so much fun, and I was ready to go home. Made it back to the Airbnb, finally went to bed, and the next day was my husband's birthday, and we booked a party boat for that day. It was like a Mykonos party boat or something. It was so much fun. We basically spent the whole day on a boat, like on a big like boat. A bunch of people were there, and like they had music and drinks, and they had like a VIP section and then like a normal section. And the day of, we ended up like wanting to upgrade to the VIP section because you have like a closed off area with your own table, and they give you like a couple bottles of like champagne and a bottle of your choice. I think we got the champagne for free to celebrate my husband's birthday. But yeah, so we like upgraded to there, and we just had like a blast, like just like dancing, and the guys like running the party boat were Hispanic. I think they're from Brazil, and so they're playing a lot of Spanish music, so we're like having a blast singing and dancing. And then so they like take you on the boat and they drive out to somewhere, and then they kind of stop and they let you like jump in the water, and like they have floaties and stuff. And I wasn't gonna jump in, but then I thought like, because like the water was kind of cold, it was freezing actually, but I thought like, oh my gosh, like when am I gonna be able to jump into the water in Mykonos again? Like I have to do this. So I jumped in, and it was like freezing, but it felt awesome. I literally jumped in and then swam around and got right back out and just like danced and had a good time. My sister and the two cousins weren't really drinking much. It was just like my brother, well, my husband, his brother, and I like, I can't drink very much, but the three of us ended up finishing a bottle of tequila. No, I literally had like like a quarter of a shot every time they had a shot. So safe to say, by the time we like finally made it back, so you get to see like the sunset there, so it was super fun. By the time we made it back to land, like we're done, we're wasted, but we land and we, want to grab something to eat, so we go to a restaurant, and my cousin's friend from like high school actually ended up being in Mykonos with his mom, and so we met up with him and he joined us for dinner. So I feel like the whole time at dinner I'm like, okay, act natural, like act sober, you don't want to make a fool of yourself, in front of like your cousin's childhood friend. So he was really nice, his mom was super cool. Then we went back and like got some sleep because the next morning my husband and I were leaving. Alright, let me get the last item. This is a giant fruit bowl. Absolutely giant. Like, what? Hello. I already have like a smaller version of this, but the bananas, when I buy bananas, they don't fit in the smaller version. The smaller one is like a lot smaller. So I wanted to see if they have a larger version of this, which, I mean, the one I have, the handles are white, so I'm a little bummed I couldn't find that, but now they only have this one. We'll see if it fits okay. Okay, so the next morning my husband and I left. Everyone else stayed in Mykonos for like an extra day. From there, my sister and my cousin flew back to Barcelona, and then like spent a few days there, and then went back home. And then my brother-in-law and his cousin, like after spending a day in Mykonos, flew to like Paris, and then from there like flew to where they live. My husband and I, however, left Mykonos that morning, and we flew to Amsterdam. It was cheapest for us to fly back from Amsterdam. So we got there, and Amsterdam was super cool. I loved how like everyone rides their bike everywhere, like absolutely everywhere. Like you need to be careful when you are crossing the street and make sure you don't get hit by a bike. So that's just really cool. In general, Europe, like it's awesome to see how like amazing the public transportation is. We don't have that here in the States, like nothing like that. But there, it's so easy to just buy like a metro pass or like a bus pass and like want to say like 10 or 11 days, and lots of traveling, like just going place to place. We wanted to check out a bunch of different places. I definitely want to go again, and maybe next time I would go to less places to be able to spend more time in each place. As far as like my favorite place, it's kind of stuck between Mykonos and the south of France. So like Nice, like the south of France is so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. Like, even when you're traveling like on the bus there and you're going up like these mountains and you see the lake, like not the lake, I'm thinking of a lake because we have one here, but like you see the ocean and like it is just absolutely beautiful. But I also left Mykonos a little bit of a party place. When I was gonna say if, but when I go to Greece again, I want to check out Santorini, and maybe some other island. Greece is just so beautiful, like with the white houses, and, like the water is gorgeous, and the beaches are gorgeous. Like I really had a blast. I definitely want to go again. That was like a once in a lifetime type of trip, but I'm really hoping to go to Europe again in a couple years. So we'll see. Okay. That is all that I have for my shopping haul. And that's all I really have about the Europe trip. Give me a second to look at my little book. Alright. Okay, so I have a couple other items to give you an update on, but I think I'm going to take a break right now to go see what my father-in-law and my husband are doing. I'm gonna go to the gym real quick. They close early today, so I will continue giving you a live update when I return. Stay tuned. Hello. Welcome back. Okay, so for this second half, I think I am just going to work on my nails a little bit. I just cut them not too long ago, but I'm thinking I can add cuticle oil and paint like a clear coat or something while I keep giving you a live update. After I finished recording the first half, I started like thinking more about my trip, but I thought like, oh my gosh, there's so many things I didn't tell them about, but that was like the really high, just like quick overview. And I didn't want to spend hours and hours telling you about it, so 30 minutes will have to do. Alright, let's look at my list in the handy dandy notebook. So, I wrote down things I want to tell you about, and I don't know why. I thought it was important to share with you that my couch was finally delivered a while ago. Well, it was back in like November 21, so like, no, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Almost a year ago. It was like September of last year. I had ordered a couch. The house that we live in has like two living rooms. I guess one, sorry, my hair's kind of wild. One is like the family room, I guess, I don't know. But we bought a couch to put in that other living room. It was like empty this whole time, and we've been here for like a year and a half now. Anyway, so yeah, we bought it back in November from like Macy's Furniture, and no, back in September, and the original delivery date was supposed to be November, and then it got pushed out to December, then it got pushed out to like March, and then May, and then it wasn't delivered until like June, the middle of June. Wild. I don't know if it's like, COVID or impacting delivery times or whatever, but it was just like insane. But it was finally delivered, and I love how it looks. I'm tempted to even have like a little picture of our setup. I don't know if I'll insert it, but maybe I'll insert a little picture of like the living room setup, but I really like it. I just need to find something to put. Let me have a little coffee table there in the living room, and I want to like add something on top of it to hold so they came and we went to this, I don't know why I wanted to get bangs. If like they always do this, they're so weird, and I knew this was gonna happen. I like don't know what to do with them. Anyway, so we went to like a winery that's close by, and my husband and I had gone there like once before, but this was like maybe a year ago that we had gone there. We haven't been there since, but a coworker of mine said she went recently and she really liked it, like it was cute, and we're like, oh, you know what, that's a good idea, like we should take my husband's family there. So it's really small, but it has like an indoor and outdoor area. When we went, the outdoor area was absolutely packed. They had like a live band playing, I want to say oldies, and people were out there like dancing, having a good time. But you know, we're a large group and there wasn't really a spot for us to sit there, so we decided to stay inside at first. So we ordered a bottle of wine, and I asked the lady at the counter, I'm like, hey, like, what do you recommend? I want a red that's not really too sweet. And she's like, you have to try out this one, it's my absolute favorite. I'm like, okay, cool. I was like really excited. So we got a bottle of wine and we ordered like pretzel and beer cheese, and then a charcuterie board, so like cheese and meats. And so, you know, we get the wine and we all, you know, there's like 6 of us, and like the 2 kids, obviously the kids weren't drinking, but like the 6 adults, and we drink a sip and we're all like, oh, like it was disgusting. Like I normally like I was gonna say dark reds, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Dry, like I normally like dry wine, like red wine. I used to only really like sweet stuff like Moscato, but like as I've gotten older, I've liked like dry red wine. I feel like it tastes really good with cheese, and I love cheese. So it's not that I just love sweet wine, and this, you know, this is something I'm not used to. Like it was disgusting wine. It was not good, and I cannot believe that lady said it was her favorite. Like she must have lied, because I've never had anything so disgusting in my life. So it was a struggle trying to finish the bottle of wine, and there were like 6 of us, so you would think like we'd be able to finish quickly, but no one wanted to drink. So finally we finished the wine. Luckily the beer, not the beer, the beer cheese. Luckily the pretzels and beer cheese, and like the cheese and meat, like that plate was really good. So I think we ordered like another order of pretzels, probably another charcuterie board, and we decided, you know what, let's go for a flight. So we got a flight. It was like 2 reds and maybe 2 whites, and we all kind of shared a flight, and all of the reds tasted the same. They were all gross. The whites were really good though, they were sweeter, but I'm like, you know what, I'll take that any day over this nasty red. So we ended up getting like a bottle of the white wine. When we finished eating though, we decided to go outside. We all took our glasses outside as we were getting close to finishing the bottle, so we could just leave the bottle there and take our drink outside. And we were like dancing. It was so cool. Like it was really cool seeing everyone dancing, mostly an older crowd, but it was super fun. The girls, there was like a little lake there, and the girls walked like with their mom around the lake, and that was like really cool. So yeah, that was super fun. Then the next day, we wanted to go. There's like a lake that's maybe 45 minutes from where we live, and I had never been there. Like none of us had been there. So I was like, alright, like let's go, like we'll check it out. So disappointing. We went there and the water was like, it was nasty. There was geese poop like everywhere. You could not find a place to lay down. Like even trying to walk, like just geese poop, and the lake had like geese poop all over it. Like we were not having it. So we left that place and we went to like another beach, or like another lake, another state park. That was maybe like 30 minutes away from that, and it was better. But like I used to live like 15 minutes from a super big lake that was absolutely gorgeous. Like I would call it a beach because there was sand and it was so soft, and like the water was super clear, and it was like absolutely gorgeous. Like that's what I picture now when I think of a lake. And these two like different spots we went to. It's not it. But the girls have fun. They went in. Later we found out that there was actually like an advisory not to get in that lake. I don't know if it was dirty or what. I can't remember what. But oops. The girls had gone in. And some of the adults too. I was not feeling it. I just took in some sun. But yeah, that was kind of it for Father's Day weekend, but it was super cool. It was really nice having family come to like visit us. Let me see what else is on my list. Okay, so next, you probably can't tell because I've been editing it out of all my videos, but I have had a cough for almost like a month and a half now. It actually started when we were in Amsterdam, one of the first nights there, and I thought I was just catching a cold. Mykonos and all the other places we were at were really warm, and Amsterdam was pretty cold, so I thought like, okay, the change of weather, you know, is making me sick, so I thought that's why I had this cough. I was also nervous for a second that it could have been COVID, with all the traveling we had been doing. I had taken an at-home test kit with me when we traveled, so I had used that like I think 2 days before I had to fly home, and it came back negative. And then the day before our flight, my husband and I both had to take like a formal COVID test to get back into the States, and that came out negative too. So I'm like, alright, like it's not COVID, so it must just be some sort of cold. But then it never left. Historically, I have gotten like a persistent cough before. I want to say it started off like my senior year of high school, which was almost like 10 years ago now. Yeah, so I think it started on my senior year of high school, and then every like couple of years I would just get this cold that would last like for months, and doctors could never figure out what it was. The last time I went to the doctor was maybe 3 years ago for this cough, and they did like a chest x-ray and like testing for asthma and like all this stuff, and she never figured out what it was. And she gave me like, the doctor gave me like a couple different medications, and like nothing worked, and it eventually went away on its own. I have not kept like great track to see if I get it every single year, and maybe just like some years are better than others. I don't normally go to the doctor unless it lasts for a while, like it did this time. So when I hit the 1 month mark, I made an appointment with my doctor, just like a general doctor, and I went to get checked out. She said that she thought it was allergies, and like the last time I went to the doctor 3 years ago, they told me they were gonna do blood work to test for allergies, and like I got blood drawn, but she said nothing was really conclusive. But this time I got blood work done again, and I started. She gave me medication like as if it was allergies, so it was a nasal spray every morning, and then like an actual tablet, like a medication to take at night. It wasn't Claritin, something stronger, but yeah, and it helped. It seemed to be helping, like I wasn't coughing as much. And the blood work came back, and she said that I had multiple environmental allergies, and she recommended that I see a specialist. So I don't understand why the last time I went to the doctors, she said that my blood work was inconclusive, and like this time they actually sent me like the blood work results, and it shows like a range like for each allergen, I think it's called. It showed like a range, like either you're not allergic or, you know, you're severely allergic or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna wash my hands. Okay, so the medication that my like general doctor gave me ran out after like 10 days. I got the blood work back maybe like 8 days after, 8 or 9 days after my appointment with her. And I noticed after I ran out of the medication, like it seems like my cough has gotten worse, so I am like pretty convinced that it is allergies. But it took a while. It has taken like a while to get the specialist, like their appointment book, I guess. It was just like playing phone tag, a lot of them calling me and me calling them, and we kept missing each other, and finally I have something set up. it's just not pretty. Everyone around me already knows that I just like have this cough, and I want to be like, I'm not sick, it's just allergies, but I don't say that, so hopefully no one thinks that I'm sick. Okay, let me get the nail polish. Okay, we'll see how I can do this. So a couple weeks ago, I finally cried at work for the first time. It was the longest freaking week ever, like, going in at 5, leaving at 5, we were running, like, we made a change to equipment, and we had to run some tests and stuff, and it wasn't going well, and this stupid guy at work, like, yelled at me, like, every single day that week, over stuff that, like, I had no control over. But, yeah, I was, like, really frustrated, and I went to go vent to a coworker, and, like, I'm, like, trying to vent, and I was so, like, angry and frustrated that I, like, my voice started cracking, and she's like, oh, you can cry, and I'm like, no, like, I don't want to, and it's, like, you know, the little tears there. I think it's from, that movie, oh, shoot, like, it's, like, Raining Spaghetti, or, like, something like that, what is it called? Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. And there's, like, a really tough guy, and he cries, and, like, the tears, and he says, get back in there, and that's how I feel, like, that's how I felt. I was, like, venting, and, like, about to start, like, hysterically sobbing, and I'm like, no, get back in there, like, you're not gonna cry, but I pretty much count that as crying at work. But yeah, it was super frustrating, but at the end of that, for that Friday, I ended up taking, like, a half day, and I went and I got a facial. My friend from work, not really my friend, I guess just a coworker from work, hosted, like, an event at this, like, spa thing. I don't know how else to describe it. And, you know, I don't want to say it's like a pyramid scheme, but it's like one of those, like, membership stuff. I'm sure she was getting, like, a cut of people who, like, signed up for things, and she got, like, free facial, and she invited her friends, and her friends would get, like, a discount. And I ended up buying a pack of, like, 3 facials. I, like, don't know how to say no. But, I got, like, a pedicure, and then I was talking to the lady about how, like, frustrated I am about having acne in, like, my late 20s. She was like, oh, this facial has, like, really helped me, and they have a great skincare routine, and blah, blah, blah. And they tried to sell me this skincare thing, but I just bought, like, a pack of 3, like, facials. So anyway, I set up, a facial for that Friday, so I took a half day. I went to, like, get my cough checked out, and then I went to get that facial, and when I tell you, like, that was amazing. I've never had a facial before, like, a real, in a salon type of deal, or, like, spa, I guess, whatever, you get what I mean. And it was just so relaxing. I'm gonna try to do a role play of it sometime, but it was the Diamond Glow facial, and I got, like, dermaplane, where they, like, take all the, like, fuzz off your skin. But it was so relaxing, like, the way they were, like, massaging your face, and just, like, I don't even know how to explain it, just amazing experience. I was seriously laying there and thinking, like, could I budget better to be able to get a facial once a month, because that would be amazing. I don't think so. I think after I get these, I have 2 more facials left in the pack that I bought, and I think that's gonna be it for me, but I would love to be able to do that, like, once a month. It was so amazing. And it was really like a treat yourself kind of deal, because I never do something like that, and it was such a long week. Like, I'm really happy that I did it. I'm trying to pay my right hand right now, and it is not going so well. Alright, let's see what we have next. Okay, we're almost done. Oh, next, for 4th of July, we went to see my family, not my family, my husband's family, in that town in the city that's 2 hours away. I feel like I'm blanking on most of what happened that weekend. So we went to my sister-in-law's house, and her friend was having, like, 4th of July barbecue, potluck, or whatever you want to call it. And so we went there. Everyone there is a bit older than us, just by, like, a couple years, but they are all, like, married and have, like, 2 or 3 kids. to share with you anyway. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up, hopefully in the next 10 minutes or so, and I'll let you move on with your life. Okay, so I added this like habit tracker on. Sorry, this is a side note, but I mean, whatever. I added a habit tracker app, and I only have 2 goals on there. The first one has to do with exercise. I want to exercise at least 30 minutes 5 times a week. Then the second one, the second one, the second one, the second one is around drinking enough water. I looked up online, like, based on my like weight, and I think it puts there like exercise, how much water you should be drinking. And if I don't make like a conscious effort, I will not drink any water. Like, I will go a whole day or 2 without drinking a sip of water. So I'm trying to change that. But I have it set up to get reminders every 2 hours, like to remind myself to drink water. So anyway, so when we left off, I was telling you a little bit about my 4th of July weekend. My husband and I went to stay at my sister-in-law's house, and we went to a barbecue the day of at our friend's house. They have a bunch of kids, not they, but like that friend group, all the people in that friend group pretty much already have kids, like at least 1 or 2 kids. So lots of kids running around, and we went to a parade, and it's so cool to see like how happy all the kids get, and like it's just fun. And then that evening we went to go check out fireworks at a park close by, and it was like, I feel like the best way to explain it is that it felt like something out of a movie. Like, when you think of just like a small town and like holidays in a small town, the whole community getting together and like to watch fireworks at the park, like they had food trucks everywhere, and like this whole park was just like not cleared out, but like there was just space for everyone to bring like blankets and lay down, and like I don't know how to describe it. Like, I'm saying like a lot. That night, you know, the fireworks didn't start until like 10 o'clock, so I was exhausted. But we pick a spot, right? And I'm like sitting there, like with my husband, and then like we both laid down at one point, and we're looking at like the fireworks. And I remember thinking, like, I feel like this is not real life. Like, I feel like this is like a movie, and you would see this in a movie and think like, oh, that doesn't happen in real life. But like the peace that I felt in that moment, and like you could feel like it was warm, but you could feel like a little bit of a breeze, and like just like hearing all this like laughter and excitement and seeing the fireworks, it felt like something out of a movie. And I don't know why that has stuck with me recently. Like, I think sometimes that I worry so much about, not worry, but like I keep thinking